Getting clear and specific in choosing who you want to work with and who your soulmate clients are is one of the most important decisions you make as an entrepreneur. I'm Pratna, and you're listening to Rebel with a Purpose. Hello and welcome to another solo episode. I know you love these episodes, and I love doing them, but it's been so long since I've done them, since I've been focusing on getting my signature offer, getting the solid foundations of my business out there. And while doing that, I was getting so hyper specific and clear on who my soulmate clients are, which is why I am bringing to you this episode. So when I started off, I barely focused on the question, which is who are my soulmate clients? Who do I want to work with? Who are my ideal clients? And because I barely focused on that question, I started attracting a lot of clients who drained my energy, who shifted my focus on my zone of genius to how do I help this client? What am I doing wrong? Why is this client not happy? And a lot of times I realized that what this client wanted from me was not my zone of genius. I did not position or market myself to this client. I did not even have an idea of who I was speaking to because I was constantly focusing on what is my niche and what is my uniqueness rather than who I'm talking to. And that's why I think the most important question is actually unlocking your who are you talking to in your offers, in your marketing, in your content, because the more specific you are, the more demand you create. The more specific you are, the more demand you create. What do I mean by this? I mean that when you get specific, you actually understand your clients so much better. They see you, and when they feel seen in your content, they see you even more, and then they start recognizing you as an authority. And that's when demand gets created, when they start recognizing you as an authority. And you can only build that trust when you get specific in your content. And that's what I mean when I say the more specific you get, the more demand you create. It is really important to create a category of your own, to create a niche of your own, to bring all of you on the table. So stop focusing on what's working for any other coach out there and actually start focusing on who you want to serve, who would be the most exciting and fun to serve and to add value to, right? And these are generally people who you would love to go and have brunch with. They are people who you could talk to about anything for hours and hours because they are similar to you. They have similar values, mindsets, perspectives as you. And they are somewhat in your past version, which is why you are the right coach who can help them. You are the only option for them because you are their future versions. And that is what you need to be as a coach, is your ideal client's future version. Right? So we start off with understanding specificity in the sense of messaging, right? So once you get clear on your target audience, on who you want to help, what are their traits strategically and energetically, this makes your messaging more direct, more clear, more activating because you're calling them forward. You're literally talking to them eye to eye. You're talking to one person, never to a group. Okay. And this builds more trust because when your clients feel seen, they see you, they recognize you as an authority. And then they come to you asking, I need this. How can I work with you? They are ready to pay a premium to you as they see you as an authority. They are ready to pay you no matter what you charge. If they see value in you and they see you as an authority, they will be ready to pay you. You don't need to spend hours chasing clients or trying to convince anyone of your worth. Specificity is what you need to call in your soulmate clients while you get to live a balanced life without spending hours chasing clients. And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm all about having that balance. I'm all about feeling alive in your business. I'm all about not burning yourself out. And the way you do this is by getting hyper specific in your content so your content sells itself. So your content pre-sells, builds trust so that a sales call or a sales conversation is just a formality. You want the sales call and conversation just to be a formality. You want them to already be sold on you before they even come and talk to you or before they chat with you in the DMs or on a call. So, how do you decide who you want to work with? Choose someone who you feel most excited to work with, who has like minded values, similar mindsets, who is ready to invest and ready to pay you today, right now. Talk to the 1%. Talk to people who are ready to commit to their growth, to their personal development, to whatever your niche is. That is their priority. Whatever you are selling right now, remember that for your ideal clients, that is their priority. What that means is that in that area of their life is what they want to is where they want to grow in. The other areas of their life, that's not much of a problem or that's not much of a pressing issue right now. So for example, if you're a relationship coach, your ideal client is someone who's majorly focusing on their relationships. Like they are thinking about it day in and day out, they're stressing about it, they're anxious about it. But when it comes to business, when it comes to family life, socializing, all the other areas of their life, they're more or less okay with it. Like it's not taking up too much of their mind space. So you want to talk to people whose who your niche directly interacts with their priority, directly overlaps their priority. Because these are the people who are ready to commit to you, ready to pay you today because they see how important it is in their life. They are empowered buyers, those who take ownership, ready to commit to you today. They buy what they want, not what they need. They're coming to you because they're desire driven. So when you talk, when you even message in your content, don't make the mistake of talking to pain. Talk to desire. Because when you talk to pain and when you rub it in their face that they're going through this and they're struggling with this, you're calling in people in their victimhood. People in their victimhood are people who will come to you not wanting to take ownership for their results and wanting you to do all the work for them. But that's not what coaching is. That's not how coaching works. It's a two-way stream. Both parties need to take their own responsibility and ownership. So you want to call in empowered buyers, buyers who are going to take the ownership for their own results, and they know that they get a return of investment out of everything that they invest in, right? So those are the kind of people you want to talk to. Their desires, their values, they match with your own. And strategically, now whatever we spoke about right now is energetically who you're talking to, right? You're calling in the high level buyers who are ready to pay you a premium today, but strategically, how do we figure this out? Like, how do we figure who this is? Now, for this, I want you to go back as far as possible in your own journey where you feel exciting to talk about, right? You don't have to talk to the version of yourself 5 to 6 years, in the past. You do not even have to talk to the version of yourself 3 years in the past if that does not resonate with you anymore. But talk to the version of yourself in the past that feels exciting to talk to and that you know you can help and that you know would invest in your coaching today. Create your offer for your younger self, which could be yesterday, 1 year ago, a few months ago, 2 years ago, whenever that is up to you to decide. But that's how I look at it strategically. I'm like going back to 2 years ago in my business journey when I was confused with my offers, with my niche, when I didn't know who my ideal clients were, who to talk to in my messaging, when I was confused about how to get hyper specific. And is specificity even important to helping me feel alive in my business? I had all these questions 2 years ago. I did not know what I was doing. I was constantly chasing into DMs. I was on Facebook groups, commenting on other people's posts just to make a sale or get a comment back. And that was not how I wanted to run my business. And I kind of knew in that moment that this was unsustainable. Like I knew how unsustainable this was. And I kept telling myself, like, I can't keep doing this. And I remember how I felt. I felt so burnt out and I was so surprised because when I was in the corporate, I was burnt out. And then I was like, okay, when I find my purpose and when I start my business, I'll finally find freedom in life. And then when I did that, I still didn't find freedom, right? Because I was chasing all these strategies and doing all these tactics that felt icky and unnatural to me and in my body that I still did not find peace and I still did not find freedom. And then that's when I realized that there has to be a better way to doing business. There has to be a more feminine approach. I can't be hustling like this 24/7 every single day. This is just not sustainable for me. And then that's when I realized and understood the new earth way of marketing, which is now what Dan Kennedy calls magnetic marketing. Gone are the days of traditional marketing and bro marketing codes. It's all about magnetic marketing, which is building an attraction based business, which is building a business that attracts your soulmate clients because your content and your experiences pre sells them. Because you are building trust beforehand, where a sales call or a sales conversation is just a formality. And that is what magnetic marketing is all about. There are so many ways you can call in your clients without having to chase anyone or convince anyone of your worth. And trust me, that feels icky. That's only going to lower your self confidence. Because when I started doing that, I felt more and more like an imposter. I was like, why do I have to chase people? Like, if I'm providing value and if I'm doing good in this world, why do I have to convince people to buy from me? Why isn't there a better way to like show people my value rather than convince them? Isn't there a better way to show them my value? And that is true magnetic marketing, which is content, referral programs, experiences, masterminds, workshops, whatever it is, whether that's a micro offer or whether that's a freebie. And I always say, like, I don't feel bad about doing free things over and over in my business, no matter the amount of experience I have, because I feel like a free experience is the easiest way for someone who's new in my world, someone who does not know me, to get to know me better. Which is why I'm even doing this podcast, which is why I'm even doing an Instagram live, because even though this is free and I'm providing a hell lot of value over here, I know that my people are going to see this, they're going to find the value, they're going to find the connection, they're going to feel the resonance in their heart, and they're going to come into my DMs and talk to me or ask me more questions. Or if this is something they're really dealing with, if this is a problem which is not being clear about who to talk to in their offers and in their messaging and content, then I know that they will come up to me and say something. The amount of times I've had an Instagram live and immediately had like 4 to 5 people in my DMs messaging me and asking me, how do I do this? Is insane, which is why I don't stop doing free stuff, because I think it's the lowest barrier of entry for anyone out there who is even a little bit curious, or even if they're cold, it's a way for them to get more clear on whether this is for them. It's a way for them to understand my offer, understand how I can help them better. And so doing free stuff is always going to be a strategy that I follow. I don't even know, for however long it does serve me and for however long it makes me feel excited, I'm still going to follow this strategy. I don't know for how long, but for now, it just seems really aligned for me to keep doing free stuff, but in a way that is aligned with my core offers, in a way that makes it so clear that the next obvious choice for my client is to get into my core offers. And now that's getting into strategy, but I don't want to do that today because I want to speak about unlocking your who today, and I want to speak about gaining clarity on your soulmate clients. So now that we've spoken about energetically and strategically understanding who your who is, then we go into understanding what they need. And there are two very important things that I want to talk about today, which is your who's burning desire and their lukewarm desires. So the burning desire is something that they want. Like, I'm going to use my niche as an example because obviously that's the easiest for me right now. But the burning desire is like they want more soulmate clients, or they want to feel alive and at peace while attracting clients. Let's just say that's the burning desire. The lukewarm desire is what they need to do to get to the wants, right? So it's what they need to do. It could be like getting clear on their offers, getting clear on the who, which is this segment that I'm talking about right now. This could be like a lukewarm desire. It's something that they're not necessarily passionate about, but it is something that they need to learn to get to the want, which is to attract more soulmate clients while feeling alive from within. So this segment, what I'm talking about right now, is a lukewarm desire. So understanding, when you look at your soulmate clients, understanding what do they actually want and how do you know what your soulmate clients want? It's because at a point of time in life, you wanted this and you wanted to build a business. Why? Because you wanted freedom. Why? So you could travel the world. Why? So you could impact more people. Why? So like understanding why you wanted what you want, what is that so that statement for you, is also the so that statement for your clients, because you are talking to your former selves. You are talking to a version of you in the past who is your soulmate client. And this is what makes it so clear in your messaging, because you go back to what did she want 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or and this pivots, right? Because this, it gets more refined, rather. I wouldn't say it pivots, it gets more refined with time. Because over time, when you work with more clients, when you do more group coaching programs or one-to-one programs, you understand your soulmate clients better. And then your marketing, your messaging gets so much more refined and specific to what they're dealing with, which could or could not probably overlap with what you were dealing with in your past. But always taking more information in, understanding your clients better, writing to them, talking directly to them. If you know that you can add value to their lives and you can 100% help them, that is doing a service to the world. That is literally how you live your Dharma. And so while there's a version of you that wants to impact, there needs to be this other version of you that wants to know deeper what your ideal clients are dealing with, what are they struggling with, what are their desires right now. And that could also be going back to your former self and having a real chat, meditating with your former self and getting very clear on the thoughts that she had from day in to day out, morning to night. What was she thinking about? What was she struggling with? What was keeping her up at night? And what were her deepest desires that made her feel chills in her body? These things are very important to know when you're making your messaging, because you are talking to the main problems or to the main desires, not the lukewarm problems or the lukewarm desires. The lukewarm is basically what they need to do to get to the outcome that they want. And what they need to do can be part of your program, but it does not have to be part of your hook, part of your headlines, part of your main messaging, because they don't really care about that. They care about getting to the clients, getting the perfect relationship, working on their mental health, whatever it is that you're offering, right? The main outcome, the juiciest one, is the part that comes after so that, which is I help you build a freedom-based business so that you can travel the world and impact more people. That is the outcome. They want to impact more people, but what do they need to do to get there is what is in my program, right? So you don't need to particularly go very deep in all of these things, but you need, when you're creating hooks, when you're creating headlines, when you're creating marketing material, talk to the burning desire that they are looking for right now. And that's all I have for you today, but I really hope that helped. I'm going to be doing more of these solo episodes, and I don't want them to be too long because I want to break them down in very easy, digestible ways. And today was all about getting clear on who you're speaking to energetically and strategically, as well as understanding the difference between their burning desires and lukewarm desires, so that in your marketing and in your messaging, you're speaking to one person and you're helping them with their burning desire. You're giving them one specific micro transformation through one piece of content. I will get I will come in with more content ideas, with more content hacks to help your content get more specific, juicy, and activating. But for today, this is the episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, please come into my DMs, talk to me, drop them, and I'm more than happy to help you, support you in helping you find your ideal clients and helping you create that signature offer that is going to change the game for your business. Thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you had a good time. Well, that is the end of this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it, took some notes, got some golden nuggets out of it that you can now go and implement in your business. If you have any feedback, you want to let me know how this transformed the way you see your niche, then please DM me at Purpose with Pratna and I'll be more than happy to chat with you. You're listening to Rebel with a Purpose and I'm Pratna, signing off.